Hi guys, it's Mason Productions here. It's Dan from Mason Productions.
And Tyler.
We have upgraded.
Yeah, it's safe to say we've leveled up the game a little bit from the last one. That's for sure.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
It's been a while. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Oh, we didn't. So for audio listeners, we've now upgraded to a 3-cam podcast setup.
Got one right there I'm pointing to.
One that is looking at me, one that's looking at Tyler, and then we've got the main one over there. What I think is great.
Yeah, and we've managed to be lucky with our shots and how we would placed everything. There's actually a lot of lights around us at the moment.
Lots of lights.
A lot of ring lights. This is from now on going to be our new studio podcast room.
We're going to do a proper reveal.
Oh yeah.
The only thing, do you like the angle on that, or do you want it slightly zoomed in? Are you happy with that?
I don't think it's too bad, to be fair, because those two are quite fun.
Okay, we'll roll with it.
Yep.
So I think first of all, I did a mini-sode by myself the other day.
Yeah.
I apologise on both of our behalves to Liam.
Okay, yeah, good.
So, do you want to apologise as well?
Yes, I would do, because I know Liam, you put in a lot of effort into these questions, and it was a frustrating thing for both of us because the first time we recorded it, everything went so smoothly up until the point it didn't.
Yeah.
But we did
rookie mistakes, and we've learned, and that's why we've spent so long upgrading.
Yeah,
everything.
It wasn't the fact that we didn't get around to it. There wasn't any effort. We got it recorded. It's just it was a combination of things went wrong. We couldn't use that footage, and then a lot of different stuff kind of landed in our place during our life and that time where we didn't get around to it.
So, quick update: Mason Productions is moving to a weekly podcast. We've sat down, we've discussed it. We want to take the podcast to the next level. That's why we're sat at a desk with a plant.
With a plant.
For audio listeners, we've now got mugs of tea that will be branded soon.
Yep.
We're going to have our own branded mugs. And we've got some Doritos. So please excuse if you hear any crunching. And we've got an elephant plant. I think the only camera... Oh, we've got 2 cameras that can see it.
Oh, yeah. You can get it in mine as well, yeah.
So, we've upgraded. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for being patient.
Thank you very much, guys.
So, these are the interview questions that our good friend Liam Scales popped into us a couple of months ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're finally getting around to doing it. Like I just said, podcast is moving to a weekly thing. You're going to hear lots more from us. We're not just going to be doing business stuff.
No.
I think we've had a slight change of heart.
No, I mean in terms of the business itself, we obviously want to focus on what our strengths are at this point, given our size. But podcast wise, we don't want to. I mean, with our kind of strategy of all being organic and just talking naturally, we don't want to focus purely on business things.
No, we want to talk about life stuff.
Yeah, especially when things are a bit dry. I mean, we know it might be a little boring to the viewers to listen to the same thing, and so we've kind of lined up certain things that are important for me and Dan, that were things that we talk about on a daily basis to include in our kind of schedule of podcasting when we record. So to hopefully it will make things a little bit more relaxed as
100%.
As well as keep the interest in what we're saying and things like that.
So we won't waste any more time because we've rambled for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's how we do it though.
That's how we roll.
Yeah.
So like that, Liam, thank you very much for these questions.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much for anybody else who wants to enter things in. We are now going to be getting around to things a lot quicker. We've got schedules, we've got planning, we've got everything sorted. So, no, thank you very much for entering them in. I don't know what camera to look at. I'm going to look at you and look at the main one.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to do.
To be fair, you're kind of darting from left and right.
So, thank you, Liam. First question, yeah. To start, he would like to know how we arranging to grow the business. How many hours a day / a week do we put into business, and what jobs are you both currently undertaking full time? Do you want to start with that bad boy?
Yep, sure. So I mean, for a while, I mean, me and Dan have both been undertaking little only things in our own personal life, so it's made it kind of fluctuating between how many hours we can put into things. Because my focus in the business currently is more the digital artist side, graphic design, things like that. I'm trying to branch out my skills and develop things to allow me to kind of bring in clients, whereas Dan's more focused on the photography side, so he's trying to bring in clients that he can go out to and get pictures of and then edit them as. So kind of we both have our own base of how we like to function, our kind of fortes, if you will. But in terms of hours, I'll relate to this afterwards. My job is, I'm basically, soon to be section leader.
Jeez, big up.
So my job is essentially just controlling like the situation of people, telling them what to do. I basically work for a company that supplies like food boxes and sends them out, called Gusto. And
we looked at doing Gusto the other day.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Reach out for a sponsorship. If you want to team up with us, we've got a worker and I want to start doing it.
Yeah.
It's just fucking fortunate at the minute, and I'm a broke ass bitch.
But yeah, no, it's a good. But because of the hours, I do 12-hour shifts, 3s and 2s. So one week I'll be having 2 days free to work on myself and personal projects I have with Mason Productions. Another week I'd have 5 days, so I'd have a lot more flexibility. So it allows me to kind of, so you can range from anything from like 4 hours a week to up to 10, things like that. It can range, but because of a lot of stuff that's been going on for a few months, especially at the start stage, it can always change. But
yeah, I think for me, obviously, no disrespect to Tyler, I am the owner. And
absolutely.
I take on a lot of stresses. And I don't want to come across a bit cliche, but I'm constant. I work full time as a IT technician. It's more like a project role, but that's kind of my job. So, but the issue is that I'm constantly thinking about Mason Productions. It never really stops for me. So, excuse me. Your question where you ask how many hours, I'm always thinking of things. So it may be that I'm planning a marketing strategy, how to get more people in, how do we keep them, how do we retain them. And then I've also sit and I talk about, I have chats every day with my partner Sarah about how we can grow the business, how I want it to grow, where I want it to be. And then some days there's the editing. So for your question is, basically in my spare time that isn't taken up by activities, it is taken up by Mason Productions. That's basically my life. I work, I get home from work, I eat. If I haven't got anything planned, it's Mason Productions. For your answer is I don't, at the minute, I don't really have any spare time. So in between holidays, so pre-planned things like holidays, weddings and things like that, obviously doesn't involve Mason Productions. But and then also while I'm at them events, I will talk to people to try and get our name out there. So I'm always kind of working in the background. So for your answer, I'd probably say that I probably stick 2 to 5 hours a daily in. It may not be necessarily sat in front of the computer, but emailing clients, making sure paperwork's up to date, making sure that the tax man isn't going to come after us, and all of them various things is sort of what I do. So yeah, it is a big thing, but that is kind of my thing. I think question 2?
Yeah.
Question 2. I understand at the end of the podcast you seem to realise that you haven't thought of an end goal, but where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? I think this is difficult because we've had sort of 3 months of growth. So at that point of podcast, I don't think we had a single client. I don't think we didn't have a single client. We didn't have any income. We didn't have anything. So we were kind of happy with anything. Our goals have slightly changed from a me personal point of view. We're starting to get clients through the door. We're getting people coming back. Tyler is now like that, has got clients coming through the door. So the objective has now slightly changed, I think. We sat and had a chat yesterday about where we want Mason Productions to be, and I guess for me, looking at everything right now, something like a true Geordie would be my goal right now in 5 years, to have a team around me where we could film proper podcasts for myself and for other people. And having a team around me that can do high production projects for clients, for myself, is kind of where I see the business going. And for the podcast, I think for me, it's about making sure that we're happy, making sure that we talk about things that are relevant, and basically being true to ourselves, because that's what the podcast is there for.
Oh yeah,
I take huge inspiration from Stephen Bartlett. If you haven't listened to it, Diary of a CEO, brilliant podcast. He doesn't need me shouting it out. It's the #1 business podcast, and I think it's hit #1 on various other occasions. But I take huge inspiration from him about being open and being vulnerable and being out there. And that's something that we agree with. So our goal is to be organic and to be real, but also by being entertaining, by talking about things that not many other people are willing to talk about. And just sort of, our goal, I think, is to be like a true Geordie, where we've started to get a good production company together with a good set of people around us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to touch on the point you like. A lot of one thing we've always said since the start is we don't want to be fake in any way. We don't want to be in it for I mean, financial gain is something that is a byproduct of what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, definitely.
And everyone's got that in the back of their minds. But I mean, the whole purpose that we started this wasn't because we both had a passion for photography and in that kind of focus, but it was to allow us to have a nice organic, be real with people, and not kind of we'll tell you the things that other people won't. Not saying everyone's fake, but there's a lot of that out there in industries like this.
In a weird way, we'll only exaggerate ourselves a little bit, I think. I don't think we overly exaggerate our personalities, but yeah.
No, not at all.
So I guess I answered my goals. I want Mason Productions to be here, but where's your goals within Mason Productions? Whether you're not with us in 5 years and you've gone off to do your own thing, that is totally an option.
Obviously, my role in Mason Productions, I don't have like a share in it or anything. I'm mere an employee that works with Dan. Obviously, me and him, we know we've known each other for so long now. But in terms of roles, I'm effectively an employee of the Mason Productions because I have my own niche, my own focus in what I like with photography, my own strengths and skills and things like that. For me, 5 years time, I would like to be at a stage. I'd like to be at a stage where I can check my emails. I'll wake up and I'll have this. I can have a nice organised regime of what I'm going to do. I could be at a nice skill level where I know exactly what I'm capable of. I know what I can achieve. I know this and this. I've reached a comfortable state of knowledge and skills over my Photoshop that I know what I can do, and I have confidence in the money I'm worth and things like that. And
like that, we haven't put any pressure as well. Like, within 5 years we're going to be fully in Mason Productions. That may not be realistic enough.
No, absolutely not.
For me, where I see Tyler within 5 years is being like, he's my best mate, and I'm going to probably big him up a little bit, but like having sort of like a director's role, director of graphic and graphic design. And sort of leading that department, because hopefully within 5 years we'll have a couple of employees and we can start hopefully getting a team together. So by then, 5 years on, a lot more experience, we're still young enough, still got the drive, but some sort of like management or director's role as sort of graphic designers, where I sort of hope that Tyler wants to go to, sort of go all the way to the top, because I think we're both agreed that even if Mason Productions was to take off and become massive, we both still want to really be involved. We don't want to sort of pass off.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. Even if it really hits off and it turns into the point where we're both making passive income. the whole reason we started this wasn't for financial gain. We still want to be involved. We still want to, because at the end of the day, it's not just a money thing. It's an achievement that we've just we've turned it into something.
Yeah, 100%.
But like Dan said, a business can go two different ways. Everything that we try and hold in terms of our ideologies of where things will go with the business is we prepare for everything. You know, if things go like this, you know, we're sticking
we want to
at
be
it,
so I think the word that I said yesterday is I want us to be agile.
Yes, yeah.
What happens tomorrow if podcasting becomes shit? Well, you know what? We'll find another medium. We will find another medium and we will try to be one of the first in that medium. You know, Web3 is happening. Can we get something involved in there? Yeah. It's all special at the minute. And Liam, I've looked at question 3 and it looks like we've answered it. It says about employees. Do we want employees? The answer is definitely yes. I think the bigger that we grow... So basically the way that I see it is from the moment that I get too busy, that I'm fully booked up, is the moment that we start taking on another photographer. Yeah. So that we can split the workload and we don't have to ever turn away a client.
Yeah.
Same with Tyler. The moment that his calendar is like, graphic design's a graphic design, logo design, this and this. Yeah. The moment that Tyler goes, right, I'm now fully booked and I can't do anything, I'm overworked, would be the moment that we bring in another person and that person can then start helping Tyler through his workload.
Yeah.
We split it, yes, we have to pay somebody, and then theoretically with 2 people, maybe double the work. I know it doesn't quite work like that, I'm not silly, but it keeps your employees happy, and through happy employees, you get more work, you get more clientele through the door. So that's kind of, we do want employees. It's just not something that right now we're not busy enough.
We have
maybe in a year or 2 time.
We have to tailor it to the kind of workload we're getting, and if we're both coping, it's counterproductive to look for employees at that point.
You know, we're only 6 months old, so we're not going to be busy enough for a long while. It might be that we never get busy enough and we just stay at a happy plateau because we're not pushing. That might become an issue. But like that, we're agile, we're willing to adapt.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I think employees is definitely something.
It's something that it's not something we're going to say is essential, but if, like Dan said, if things do take off to that point, that's the first thing we're going to be looking towards, is getting people in to do that.
Yeah,
which is something that, you know, it will show that we're growing.
Oh, 100%. But do you want to ask question number 4? Because that, I think it's more tailored towards me, but you do have a role in it.
Mm-hmm. How do you plan on advertising your business? How easily accessible are you to contact through the advertisements?
So, advertisement. Maybe we haven't been as great at that as maybe have been.
That is something we need to focus on.
Something that we've highlighted. It's something that we're wanting to improve on. There's just been lots of pressing other things. So at the minute, we have just bought business cards. They have arrived. They look amazing.
Shout out to Sarah.
Big shout out to Sarah. She designed and got them all printed. So business cards are now here so that we can actually hand out physical stuff when we're at events. Our main one is Instagram. We have a Facebook, but unfortunately Facebook, I don't love Facebook. I think Facebook is a bit shit. It's a bit dead.
I think for photography, just from a personal standpoint, I hardly use it anyway.
I don't use it personally.
No.
The only time that I ever use it is when people are messaging me.
Or for birthdays.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
So, Instagram, it will be in the description down below. Thank you very much. Give it a follow. Give everything a like. That's what we like. But basically, at the minute, we're organically growing. It's something that maybe we could have been better on. But basically, I moved house, got a new job. Tyler has been on a holiday, seen his lovely girlfriend.
And I moved out of it.
And he moved out of his mum and dad's house, and like that, he might have a job promotion, so he's been cracking on with work. So maybe it's something that we maybe should have prioritised. But there's so much that you can do that it's a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
We can do some of it ourselves, and I've been researching, like I said, I've been planning a marketing idea to get people back through, get more followers and strike through the roof. Retaining people, getting people to like the photos. Because, you know, we have, 150 followers? And we get about 20 likes a photo.
I mean...
Is that over 10%? Yeah.
Yes.
So we're getting over 10% people liking, but it's not a very high conversion rate. So I've been doing research, Sarah Bless has been doing research, how we can do things for the algorithm. But we're now posting again on the YouTube. we're not just going to have the podcasts on here. We're going to have the mini-sodes that are also going to be on Spotify. But we're also going to be having, like, if we go out if we go out for a shoot, we'll record it.
Yeah.
And we'll both talk about what lenses we're using, what camera we're using.
Similar to the nature one. When we're going out, when we have that free time slot to like for example, if me and Dan are going to go to this place to shoot here, or maybe travel up a little, like an hour or two away, something to get something like that. Yeah, it's always worth putting in.
Advertising for you, it kind of is the same, isn't it? It's difficult because it's almost, it's kind of weird because it's counterproductive. Well, I'm a bit contradicting myself because it would almost be better if we had another person all together just to run our social medias.
Yeah.
But like that, we don't have the funds. It's kind of what it comes down to. We don't have the funds. So we have to do it ourselves. So in a very busy schedule, sometimes uploading to social media is actually at the bottom of the list when you've already got clients through the door and they're already booked up and we've got to buy equipment and we've got to buy this and we've got to buy that. Uploading onto the socials gets sort of pushed to the bottom of the list when actually it is quite important, but paperwork, making sure that we've got money to pay for the equipment and things like that.
I think for me, from a personal standpoint, it's slightly easier to advertise but in terms of, I mean, an example I'm going to use, which is a recent thing that's came into fruition, is whereabouts I sell my prints. Because obviously, I'm going to be trying to design even when I've got no clients because it's something I always need to build on my skills anyway. But recently, like I got the idea. Well, I didn't actually. It was an idea suggested to me by my tattoo artist of selling my prints to tattoo shops, which is something I didn't think about. But like, when it comes to marketing, we're always learning. We're always trying to think of adapting to different
learning.
ways to
We're very new. We're learning.
That's what we said
like
from
that.
the start.
We're agile. We're learning and we're adapting. So like that, somebody mentioned that he could sell his prints to tattoo artists. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a couple of designs set up for a couple of tattoo artists. Like that. Check out his Instagram. Yeah. Instagram will be in the description below. Have a look at some of his artwork. If you want it putting out as a tattoo piece, please ask for his permission. Everything's through him. Mm-hmm. So please ask him, make sure that the designs are what you want, and then we can sell them to you. And if you're a tattoo artist, please get in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. And one point I did touch on, from start linking to the first podcast, the whole reason another reason we do this all organic and natural, no cuts or anything, is we're both new to this. This is something we have. So it's going to be natural for things not to go smoothly. There's going to be areas we need to focus on, but that's the whole point. I mean, it gives us a chance to have a little bit of self-reflection when we're in these podcasts to go, right, actually, this is what we're not doing as well. This is what we need to work on. And that's a whole natural part of the process, I think.
100%. And the final question. Oh my God.
I knew it.
Oh my God.
I knew it.
Oh my God. There's loads of questions. Love it. Question 5. Retract it. There's more questions. There's not just 5. There's 3 pages worth. Right. Question 5. How are we planning on expanding our company? Is it through word of mouth, or we sort of putting things out there? It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is working great at the minute, but also we're putting our foot indoors and we're trying to get our name out there, and it has worked. I've got a selling pitch coming up in the next couple of weeks about having a potential returning client for a year contract. So that's brilliant, and things like that. It's just.
Well, word of mouth is more opportunistic if you get the chance. You can't always have the availability to do so, but vice versa, whatever you can do, it's all about when you get the opportunity to, and things like that.
I think we should quick fire these.
Yeah.
So, when did you first get into photography? When did you buy first? Okay, when did you first get into photography?
I first got into photography when I was around like 13-ish. I started taking photos on my phone.
Yeah.
And I got really into it, the angles and things like that, how it looked.
So, when did you then buy your first camera?
I bought my first camera not long. I think I was around I was about 18. It was when I went to Cornwall, and my friend had the Nikon D5000. We did a photo shoot of it when I was really starting to get into photography. So I was like, right, okay. And he kind of suggested a good place to get it for a decent price, so I wasn't earning as much, and that's where I got it. That
then leads on to, how much did your first camera cost?
My first camera costed around, I think it was meant to be around 300, but I paid around 150, 160 for it.
Yeah.
Was that last one?
That's the last one of question 1.
Right, okay.
Do you want me to quick fire 3, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you do the same for me?
Yes, sure.
This is how you can tell that this is so raw that we have literally just opened this up.
The funny thing was, Dan literally thought it was one page, and he just scrolled and seen all the rest of the question that we forgot about.
Okay, question 2. When you go out to shoot, do you take essentials? Other than the camera and the lens. So what else do you take with you on your shoots that is not camera and lens?
So, recommended things. It all depends on what you're shooting. Like
Yeah.
if you're shooting sunsets, you want to take a
ND filters.
ND filters. They're the best thing to get the good, nice detail of things. Wildlife photography. I mean, if you're taking, sometimes if I do like photography of night sky, you want to take tripods or specific things that can get that right angle. You can also get, I forgot what it's called now, the little bracket thing. You know, I showed you how to use it. The screw on the top is to stop the flare from things coming in, like from the sun.
You screw it on the end of the lens. And
I don't know
what
what
a shadow cap.
That's a cool. I mean,
Shadow
unless
cap.
you just invented a new word for it. But, yeah, and then it'll be things. Sometimes, like when me and Dan did our nature photography, one thing we tried to take with us was a tent.
Yeah.
Some type of gear to kind of blend in with the nature, things like that. If you're taking like maybe street photography, you don't need too much for that, I don't think. I mean,
that's something that we both really haven't done, kind of.
We haven't really got the equipment kind of tailored to something like that, because you need like not only you need a specific lens and an aperture to get that, because
it's all about drawing out the thing in focus, isn't it?
Oh yeah, if you get the right setup with camera and lens, everything, you can capture such a great mood of people just literally just going about their everyday life.
How have you educated yourself to take better photos and videos? Is there anyone you have taken direct, like have you learned anything or / taken inspiration from anybody?
Yeah, I basically because I'm a self-taught artist, so once I got Photoshop, I pretty much studied through how a lot of people do it through YouTube and through different videos. I took these like free seminars that I got advertised, and little ways of breaking things down, of how to do things, and then I just basically just practicing messing things around in Photoshop, see if I can replicate the same type of things.
Anybody that you take Sorry, I'm just devouring Doritos. Any person that you take inspiration from?
A guy named Armesh. I forgot his Pix Imperfect YouTube. A lot of anyone that's into Photoshop will probably know who he is. He's a massive YouTuber. There's another YouTuber called Benny Productions who focuses on composites. Extremely talented. Probably one of the most famous as well. There's another guy called Phase Runner who does more of the artistic side of things, digital painting, but also does a lot of compositing. I take massive inspiration from those guys. They're incredible in what they do, and it's really good booster for me to kind of get inspiration from them. Makes me want to work more.
In your opinion, what makes a good picture stand out from the average?
Me, I'm a sucker for detail. If a photo is well balanced and has a lot of sharp detail in it, it kind of captures the scene really well. But it would depend on the shot. If it's a nature shot, sometimes I like a lot of nice, pure, like natural colours, nothing too over the top. If it's more of a portrait, I like a lot of blur around the subject that can really capture things. What was I going to say? A nice post product photo as well. Like, I mean, natural photos are all good, but when you can see they've retouched the colours to do this, they've balanced the shadows to give off this. Even things like brightening the eyes can have such a massive effect. When you can see that they've put in that little amounts of detail, it's things like that. Through my experience, sometimes the little things can really make a photo absolutely pop.
And finally, for this section, forget about the business, profits, costs. What are your individual career goals? Mm-hmm. Do you want to stamp your name in a specific genre? Mm-hmm. Do you want to make your own genre, or do you just want to make money from the thing that you love?
Well, I think the whole money side of it we touched on before. That isn't our main focus, although that is something we need to think about, of course. In a business, you always have to. Because our end goal is to be financially free and quit our jobs. I I would like to have my own type of not vibe, but something that when people go to my Instagram, they're like, "Oh wow, that's his style." You know,
yeah.
I want to be known for doing things my own way. You know, same as a lot of people have their own styles. I want people to be able to go to my Instagram. Like, you know, that's how he does it.
For somebody to like just be scrolling through Instagram and be like, "Oh, that looks like a Tyler Bowser picture."
Yeah. Like, you know, there's different have such a unique style about you that you kind of like. Oh yeah, you can see he's used inspiration from this type. This gives me Tyler Bowser vibes. You know, things like that. That would be awesome for me for that to happen. Yeah.
It's actually a quick fire done.
Awesome. Now individual questions.
And you need to ask me, bitch.
Oh yeah. Oh sorry. That's.
This is now just the Tyler Bowser podcast.
So I was going from top to bottom. I thought, never mind. So Dan, when did you first get into photography? When did you first buy your first camera? And how much did it cost?
I think I got into it maybe a bit later than you. I think I got into it properly sixth form. I did IT and media at sixth form. So I was always around cameras, and that's when I started taking the cameras home and started photographing stuff. So yeah, that's when that happened.
What was the first camera you bought?
That I bought personally was the Canon 2000D.
Did you have one before that? Oh no, you were given that one, weren't you?
I was given that one. I was given that one because my mate shagged somebody.
I was wondering if you were going to say that.
I'm going to fucking throw it out there.
See, now you know that's how you know it's raw.
My friend shagged a girl, and in the morning, for him shagging her, and for me sleeping in the car, she gave me a camera.
We've had a lot of info. She had a lot of cameras, didn't she?
She had a lot of cameras, and she just gave me one of her old ones. So, thank you, person. If you ever hear this, you know who you are. Big up.
Okay, avoiding the free camera you got, how much did the Canon 2000D cost you?
I don't actually know. I want to say it was close to the 300 mark. But I only bought that a year and a half ago. I like that. In the meantime, I'd been using this camera that had been given to me for like 5 years. And then in the process of that, I used that right there, what I'm pointing at, was the iPhone XR. And I used a lot on that.
Oh yeah, no, I think everyone starts out with phones, to be fair.
So I think I bought my actual first proper camera that I bought with my own money. It's probably only a year and a half ago. Canon 2000D.
Next question. When you go out to shoot, do you take any essential items other than a camera and lens?
I think I'll be the stickler.
Okay.
Rainproof. Or waterproof, should I say. Hot drink. Snacks.
Yeah. You're a lot more open-minded about this. I wasn't even thinking on that.
These are the things that I think about. So when I go shoot, I always take a hot drink with me. I always make sure that I've got a waterproof packed. And I always make sure that I've snacks, hot drink, waterproof.
It will all depend on the situation, though. What if
I always take a waterproof.
No, but you won't take a hot drink if it's like 29 degrees.
No, then I'll take a cold drink with me.
Yeah. Okay.
So like a beverage.
A beverage.
And snacks.
Yeah.
Then drone. I know that might come under camera.
No, well, not really. It's still a separate thing. I didn't think about drone either.
Spare SD cards. They're a big essential. Just in case one breaks or you get full or something goes wrong.
Spare batteries.
I don't have any of them.
I don't.
I should.
I don't either.
We should have them.
We should have them.
That's added to the list of shit to buy.
But to be fair, the batteries do last.
They do last an extremely long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're kind of my essentials. I went a bit more basic, but they are the things that make me fucking happy and when I want to shoot.
Yeah, fair enough. Have you educated yourself to take better? How have you educated yourself to take better photos and videos? Is there any? Oh, well, let's stick with that one. How have you educated yourself to take better photos and videos? Yeah. Fair.
Looking at other people's photography and self-reflection. Yep. Taking a photo, not looking at it straight away. Maybe leaving it a day or two, then going back to have a look at it.
Yes, I remember you touching upon this before. That is it's a really good way, so you're not too critical, but you're not like, oh wow, that photo's amazing.
But also like you take the emotion away from it.
Yeah.
You think you're taking a good photo, but I don't check it. I then wait.
There's
a week, 2 days, 3 days, and then I go back to it, and then I go, it's actually focused on the grass instead of the deer. Because that happened.
Yeah.
That fucking happened. Devastated.
It's even if it's just slightly out, like that. One of those deer photos I took when we was out there, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I go back to pose, got it on my laptop, wasn't all in focus.
Yeah, so leaving it 2 days, having a look at it, and if the picture still makes me go wow, or there's a story to be told behind the photo, then I'll go with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly YouTube and just looking at other people's photography.
Okay.
And inspiration. There's one person that there's two people. James Popsy and Thomas Eaton, both on YouTube. Check them out. Brilliant photographers.
Fair enough. In your opinion, or your own opinion, what makes a good picture stand out from the average?
Making the end user or the person looking at it ask questions, or for there to be a story. So, for example, if there's a shoe that's poking out through the mud, for example, just random, why is the shoe there? How did it get in the mud? You know, and things like that.
Yeah.
Or something that, like, I think I've got a photo and it's a sunset, and in the sunset there's a pole that looks like there should be a light on it, and there's no light. So then you ask the questions why there's no light bulb on there. And so stuff that makes the end person think, / there's a story to be told.
It gives you a lot of things to think about, when you, especially in certain angles. It brings me back to when we first had a photo shoot and I used my phone for you. The one photo I got where you can see the poles either side and a long strip of like kind of perspective leading all the way down. There's you at the bottom. For me, that shouted out, who is that? Why is he there?
Yeah, why? Yeah,
it adds a sort of eeriness.
So that's what makes a good photo for me.
I can agree with that. Forget about the business, profits, costs for a second. What are your individual career goals? Are you trying to stamp your name in a specific genre in photography, or make things your own, or are you just happy earning money from the job you have?
I think. I don't know if I can make my own genre with the clientele that I'm going with. I'm going through the wedding photography portraits. So I guess it's stamping my name in that. Becoming the best wedding photographer, becoming the best portrait taker. I think
for me, for you, I think because our clientele are going to be quite, it's not broadened out enough.
No, yeah.
So you're kind of focusing on what's coming to you.
Yeah.
You're trying to adapt it, but I think you could adapt to that and probably. I think stamping your name is a good thing, but I don't think you're focusing on only one niche market. You're taking what's coming to you and going, right, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah.
I think, for example, if someone came to you and go, right down, I need these photos of these, like or something like, I know you get deer around. I want to sell some portraits of this or whatever. You then focus your attention.
Oh
on that.
yeah, but yeah, no, that's that. So, individual questions. This is for Tyler. Towards the end of the video, 15/16 minutes in, you speak about one goal of yours is to develop a community. That's something that we both heavily want. Can you elaborate on firstly the type of community or who you want in the community? Fellow photographers, family of people who need photographers at events. How do you plan on developing this in the community?
Community wise, we're not going to gate it. I'm not going to label who I want in it.
No, and I don't think we're going to... What's it called when you gate it? We're not going to like block people. Everybody's welcome.
Everyone's welcome. What I want, I mean, for me personally as well, I want to create a safe space for people. Like-minded people, absolutely. It will create good creative conversation. People can get inspiration from each other. But even people that just have an interest, or people that need an escape from their own problems and really enjoy photography, just something that everyone can come together and respect each other and go and kind of big each other up, be each other's hype men, if you will. This is good, because there's nothing better than throwing a piece of art into a group chat. I mean, everyone, even ranging from people that are professionals, even to people that have just been in it for a couple of weeks, just comment and go, I like this about this and that. I'm not saying like you only, but it'll give off that positive vibe to really push people to where they want to go.
Maybe in this community, I'm trying to making it a bit simpler. Is that maybe there could be subsections of the wider community. So there's a photographer section, there's a videographer section, there's a mental health section. So our community isn't just photography; it's fucking
Oh
range.
yeah. And I'm going to stem off that. That's why I was thinking of Discord.
Yeah, I think
Because
that's where we're going.
We can have specific channels for mental health awareness. You know, even like voice.
And like that, we'll be really like active and.
Oh yeah,
like
even
this.
like voice channels where you can just go and just chat to random people and just get shit off your mind or things like that.
Yeah.
Or like then we can, like you said, subcategory of like portraits, wildlife photography, digital graphic design, all those kind of niche markets that we want to broaden out to, or at least, you know, accept the people that are interested if they're not our professions, and just kind of allow it, you know, be that safe space, creative area for everyone to, you know,
enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. That was well answered.
Well, thank you. Daniel, at the end of the video, you speak about this stigma around photography and videography. As someone who has never tried or thought of becoming a photographer, talk me through this stigma. Has this stigma been a problem in the past? Has it delayed the production of your business, Mason Production Limited? How do you plan on taking away this stigma?
I think being young has helped.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the stigma that I'm going on about is that if you don't have a portfolio or you don't have anything to show, you do stuff for free.
Mm-hmm.
Or this model is gonna be snobby. You're gonna be, and so there's this huge stigma that if you're a photographer, you've got to just bow down and blah blah blah. Oh, you haven't got any portfolio on this, so I want X amount of money off. And I'm a good photographer. Believe in me. If I'm then not good, then sure, I will give you discounts. I'll give you free shit. Don't try haggle me. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like, yeah, it has halted us because people have messaged us and be like, I've got a wedding tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
1 day notice. Can you do it for free because you've got no portfolios on weddings?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's 8 hours, 12 hours worth of work. I'm not doing it for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I will give you a extremely good rate, but I can't do it for free.
Mm. Absolutely.
Everything comes at a cost, and people want it for free. People are cheeky. People are wanting everything, but that's the stigma I'm going on about. It's kind of everybody wants everything for free. Models can be arseholes, and everybody wants to do anything a traditional way, and we're just not traditional.
I think as well, another stigma with photography is the kind of category people put photographers in, like, they're up their own arse, they're this, they're, you know, they're narcissists, in a weird way, they kind of people kind of put people, you're a photographer, they kind of already put them in this class of people and what they're like and things like that. And I don't know, it's kind of, but that's kind of the whole purpose of what we're doing, is to kind of break free from the
social norms.
That's a good way of putting it, thank you. And just kind of representing ourselves and who we are, as, you know, and just be organic, natural, and just, you know, it will allow us to. It's basically by doing that, it's basically kind of saying to the audience, if you enjoy our stuff, stay. If not, you're free to leave.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, we're not going to sugarcoat who we are. We're going to just be plain. This is who we are. You know, type of thing.
So yeah, they're all the questions. I hope we've answered them well enough.
Yeah. Once again, thanks very much, Liam. We both apologise of how long this has taken.
But
I understand that.
But if anybody else wants to get involved, please send us some details or whatever. We can speak about any topic.
I mean, we have a lot of topics, and like we said, with our organic, natural, uncut, we just sometimes ramble about shit. Sometimes that will be. But if you have any specific questions you want to ask me, ask Dan, ask us as a collective, Mason Production, anything like that, we're completely open to it. Drop us an email, you know, put your details in, and we'll get around to it as soon as possible.
Yeah, so thank you very much. This has been Dan from Mason Productions.
And Tyler from Mason Productions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we will see you again shortly. Boom.